everyone. This is an impromptu, unscheduled live because an unscheduled happened yesterday, an impromptu happened yesterday, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to share some news with you. So, and I realized that it's Friday night, and I'm hoping that, and it's 8 o'clock on a Friday night, here I am, and I'm hoping that you all are out on a date with your sweetie, or doing something fun with your kids, or just chilling out, doing something fun on a Friday night, which for most people is the start of the weekend. So I'm not worried if you all don't see this as I'm doing it live. This is something you can watch later, because this is news about me, and I am not sure that I'll be able to answer any of your questions about what I'm gonna tell you, so I'll try my best. So if you've listened to me much, if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that one of the things I often talk about is that I'm one of those people for who all the traditional keto things don't seem to happen. So I have not lost a ton of weight. Mind you, I was never overweight. I lost, I don't know, maybe 10 pounds when I started keto 3 years ago. I have not lost any weight since, but I'm okay with that because, one, I'm a perfectly normal, healthy weight, and also that wasn't, my goal. But it was still weird that it didn't happen to me like it happens to most people. I also never got that rush of energy that a lot of people get, and that was kind of frustrating. And so there was all the, other than helping me with my bipolar and flooding my brain with healthy fats and ketones, I haven't experienced all the goodness of keto that most people seem to. And so I'm always telling you to be your own detective. I'm always telling you that if keto doesn't feel or seem to be working for you like it is for the majority of people, then there is probably something else going on that you need to fix first so that keto can work properly for you. There's probably some underlying issue that you need to fix before you can get the benefits of keto. So for example, for me, keto on its own was never going to fix my bipolar because I have this MTHFR genetic issue going on. So keto alone was not going to fix that. There's lots of things for which keto helps, but it doesn't fix everything because there's other things. Genetics. Eating a keto diet is not going to fix your genetics. So there's things like that where keto is brilliant, but it might not be the whole answer for you. So this is a long-winded way of saying that I have news along this train of thought. I have known for the last few months that something was going on with me, that something wasn't right, and I have been desperately, I don't know if desperate's the right word, but I've been fairly desperately trying to work out what it was, because I have been experiencing crazy fatigue. I've been exhausted. My sleep has gone to pot. I have been awake at the wrong times, falling asleep at 9 a.m. in the morning. My circadian rhythm's been out the window. And I've also, and most worrying for me, I've also been experiencing some depression. Now, nothing like bipolar, nothing like the symptoms that bipolar is, just a low-grade depression. But of course for me that is super worrying, and because of my past status with bipolar 2 disorder. So I knew there was something going on. I'm very, very in tune with my body. I knew something was happening. I knew that I shouldn't be exhausted. I knew I shouldn't have fatigue. I knew my circadian rhythm shouldn't be off. And there was absolutely no reason for any kind of depression. Because, you know, I moved to Connecticut. I mean, everything in my life was falling into place. So there was literally nothing to be depressed about. And there was lots of other minor symptoms too. I was having achy joints. I was getting neck pain in one side of my neck, and also my migraines were coming back, which was very disappointing. So over the last several months, I have probably lost about 50% of my time, of my working days. I've probably lost about 50% of them to any combination of these things, mostly to migraines and just sheer exhaustion. So I knew something was going on, and I've been trying all the things. I thought it was maybe allergies, because I moved from Seattle to Connecticut, and allergies can be terrible. And of course there's different plants here than in Seattle, and I mean everything's different. So also new house, you know, pain, you know, all of those things that I'm super sensitive to. So I've done all sorts of things to sort out the potential allergy problem. I have a molecule which is an amazing air filter, which doesn't just filter, it actually destroys all the things. So it destroys the pollen, it destroys the pet dander, it destroys all the VOCs and the viruses and everything. So I did that, and that helped somewhat, but I knew there was still something going on. Anyway, I finally yesterday had an appointment with a homotoxicologist, and because toxicity is a thing for me, any of you who have read my story or listened to my story know that my genetic mutation of MTHFR means that I have a much reduced ability to detoxify. So my liver can't detoxify very well, so the toxins tend to stay in my body and they get stored there, and I can't get rid of them. So with that in mind, it was actually Josh, my tree dude, who I met because he came to my home to take 2 of the huge dangerous trees in my yard down. We got talking. The first day he came to meet me, he came with his wife, and somehow we got onto the topic of MTHFR. His wife has it, he doesn't, but he has a laundry list of things that are wrong with him. He has really, really struggled. And so we got to talking all about our weird things that we struggle with health-wise, and the things we've done that has helped our respective selves. He gave me the name of a homotoxicologist and said, I'm going to see her. So after he went to see her, he showed me his results, and it was stunning, all the things that they found that were kind of hanging out in his cells. So I immediately went, okay, I have to go have this test done, I have to go see this lady. So I went yesterday and saw the homotoxicologist, and boy howdy do I have news to share. So, and let me say first, I am super, super happy with everything I found out yesterday. When you hear what I found out yesterday, you might think I've lost my mind to be happy. So here's the preview to the movie. I am super happy because knowledge is power. If you know what's wrong, you can fix it. If you don't know what's wrong, you can't. So here's what I found out yesterday from the testing I had done at the homotoxicologist. I have a major mercury toxicity. This is left over from amalgam fillings that I had when I was a kid, so a lot of years ago. I've had almost all of those mercury fillings replaced. I have one left. I have made an appointment with the dentist to go get that replaced because the homotoxicologist cannot treat me for the mercury poisoning until all the mercury is out, all the physical mercury is out. So I have a major mercury toxicity, which has been there for years. So there's that. I also found out that I have Lyme disease, which is like, wait, what? So, and any of you who know anything about Lyme disease, it can be absolutely horrible. People die from Lyme disease. So that's a thing. So I have Lyme disease. We think that it was transmitted by mosquitoes, not ticks. I've been super vigilant since I came to Connecticut about all the tick things. Super, super vigilant. I've had no apparent tick bites at all. But I know I've had mosquito bites. The Lyme disease was contracted within the last 3 to 5 months, so our best guess is it was actually the mosquitoes that did it. Anyway, so no, Marie is saying you had Lyme before you got hit. No, it's the test showed that 3 to 5 months, so it's something I got here, and we think it was the mosquitoes because I've been super vigilant about the whole tick thing. And anyway, so I have Lyme disease, so that was kind of exciting. I also have a couple of the Lyme Co-Infections. If you know about Lyme disease, you know that the Lyme bacteria often come along with some friends, and so I have a couple of co-infections. I also have, which is another thing which blew my mind, I also have Herpes Zoster virus, which is not herpes, and you're all going, ah, no, not that. Herpes Zoster virus is a leftover from chickenpox. Now, I've had chickenpox twice, so this stuff has been toxically floating around in my body since I was like 4 years old. Because that's the first time I had chickenpox. I also had chickenpox later in my life. So I had it twice, once as a child and once as an adult, which is incredibly rare. People almost never get chickenpox twice. You get chickenpox, and then if you get the virus again, it's shingles, not chickenpox, but I've actually had chickenpox twice. So so I have some Zoster virus floating around in me from when I had chickenpox. I have pinworm. I have some protozoa. I have mold. I have, what else do I have? I have E. coli. I have like, yeah, it's very cool. And this is the kind of stuff that I actually love. Because for all of those folks that say, you know, detoxing isn't a thing and you don't need to detox and, you know, all detoxes are snake oil and blah, 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 blah. Just one look at the toxicology screen I had yesterday is proof enough that I still have all this. I mean, the Lyme is new, but everything else is stuff that I've had in me for years, and it's still there. So you're going to hear me talk a lot over. I mean, I always get upset about this, but now it's going to become this huge thing. Is anybody who tells you that detox is not a thing and that our livers do it and nobody needs a detox and that detox is snake oil and blah blah, run very far away from them, because they have no idea what they're talking about. No idea. So I'm going to get really hardcore about this. If there's any in our groups, if anyone like slams on detox, I'm going to be there, because detox is a really important thing, particularly for people like me and the third of the population who have the MTHFR genetic mutation, who have additional problems with detoxing. So I'm going to say it again, and I'm probably going to upset some people, and I'm okay with that. Anybody that tells you that detox is snake oil and detox is just a waste of money and detox isn't a thing, run very, very far from any advice that they're looking to dish out. So back to my list. Let me just check here that I haven't forgotten something, because yeah, the list was long. So let me recap. I have a major mercury toxicity, I have Lyme disease, I have mold, I have a bunch, parasites, I forgot. I have a bunch of parasites, E. coli, pinworm, and some other bacteria. I also have, get this, people who don't believe in detox, I also have residues of antibiotics stored in my cells. I haven't had a dose of antibiotics for over 3.5 years was the last time I had any antibiotics administered to me in any way. I still have, they call it biofilm, but it's residues from antibiotics in my cells. Herpes zoster, which was chicken pox. Oh, and I also have arsenic. I have arsenic in my cells. So, and I cannot remember what that was, where that came from. I asked the question and I don't remember. But I was very high on the arsenic scale for toxicity. What else? So the parasites, I'm pretty sure that I picked up in India, and that was a long time ago. A long time ago, years and years ago. So they're all still there. Chickenpox from when I was a kid, mercury toxicity from fillings when I was a kid, E. coli, probably caused by antibiotics, courses of antibiotics killing off everything in my gut, because antibiotics kill off everything. They don't just kill off the bad guys, they kill off the good guys too. And that can create an environment where the things like E. coli can overgrow because there's no longer any good bacteria to fight them off. So that's where that came from. The tick, we believe, the Lyme disease, we believe, came from mosquitoes. Pinworm, I don't know, maybe India, I don't know, and some spirochetes, some protozoa, some other like little live wiggly things, probably also from India. That's it. So, what I say to you, if keto isn't working for you like it does for a lot of people, there's probably something that you need to sort out. Well, I got plural things, but I'm super, super, super excited about all of this because knowledge is power. And now I know I can set to fixing it all. So I think that this might be the last piece or the last pieces in my health puzzle. Of course, the big thing for me was the MTHFR, which helped me to resolve my bipolar 2 issues. As if you know my story, you know that I have been off all bipolar medication, in fact all medication, for almost 3 years. I've had 0 symptoms of bipolar for the same amount of time. And I take no prescription medications whatsoever. I haven't done for almost 3 years now. So the MTHFR was a huge discovery for me. And the other things we found out at the same time, my food sensitivities, which we've resolved, and a bunch of other stuff, which you can read about on my blog at carriebrown.com. Now, but this is a whole new level. So this is, homotoxicology is toxic substances in your cells. So this was new testing, and I'm now thinking that this might be the last piece. the toxic load. So my liver is sad, and I've known that for a long time. I've known that since I got on board with my naturopath that helped me with the MTHFR mutation, because my liver is so overloaded, mostly because I can't detox. So I've got like my whole life to detox, and my liver is just very sad and buried with trying to fix all this stuff, and it can't. So, and she believes that that's one of the reasons for my migraines, because of where I had the migraines. My migraines tend to be here, 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 here. They kind of move around the orbital, and she believes that that is because they're getting started. The pain point is my liver. So that would be super cool. Anyway, for anyone who thinks I must be devastated by all of this, particularly the Lyme, I'm not devastated by anything. I think it's awesome because now I can fix it. So hopefully by the end of this, in a few months' time, I'm going to have got rid of all the things that were preventing keto from working optimally within me. So, hang on, I just saw a comment there. Okay, so I will continue to loudly yell about detoxing being a thing, and also yell about if keto doesn't seem to be working for you like it is for anyone else, then there's something else, there's an underlying issue which you need to fix first. I apparently have like a whole busload of underlying issues caused by various things, and I couldn't be happier that I have found out what they are. So one of the theories that that we have about the whole toxicity thing, why I can't lose weight, not that I lose much, but why I can't, I'm just frustrated that, is that the toxins are stored in the fat. So the fat, your body hangs on to your fat as a buffer against the toxins. Now, I don't know if this is actually true, but I've seen this on various different places. Various different alternative medical practitioners have told me this, but of course I'm not a medical professional, so what do I know? But it makes sense to me that one of the reasons why I and other people that I know can't lose weight is because the toxin load in our bodies is actually keeping the fat to protect us from the toxins. If we got rid of all the fat, then the toxins would be released everywhere, and that would be awful. So, just to say, that's just my theory. I've heard it multiple times in multiple places, so I'm starting to think that that might be true, and we will see, because I'm about to start on a major detox specifically for the things that are with me. Side note, the Mercury, there's Jody Leon from Seattle. He's my skin dude. He's one of the reasons why my skin looks like this. So, hi Jody, I miss you. My skin misses you. Anyway, so right now, as I understand it, I'm on a kind of a get ready. So for the next month, I'm on some anti-inflammatory homeopathic stuff, and I'm on some stuff for my adrenals, because no surprise that my adrenals are like flailing under the load of all of these things, all of these toxins and parasites and Lyme disease and bacteria and crap that's floating around in my body. So that's why I continually get adrenal fatigue. And that's a lot what's causing my exhaustion and my fatigue, and the fact that I'm always awake at the wrong time. So, you know, I'll wake up at 6 a.m. and then by 9 a.m. I'm literally face planting my desk because I have to have a nap at 9 a.m. in the morning because I'm exhausted, and that's because my adrenals are completely out of whack because they're really struggling. Well, it's now no surprise that I'm struggling because I've got a body full of all these things that are really weighing me down. So I'm taking, for the next month, I'm doing homeopathic inflammatory things. I'm going to be doing adrenal support to support my adrenals in this process, and I'm going to be taking, and I don't have this yet because my homotoxicologist didn't have any, but an immune complex, which is just going to strengthen my immune system, and also something called Pure Body Clear. Oh, and I'm also taking probiotics. So we're kind of we're laying the groundwork. We're preparing my body so that when we actually start slaying all the things, the parasites and the E. coli and the Lyme bacteria and all of those things, that my body's in a better shape to be able to deal with the detox process. Because I've done detoxes before, not targeted at these specific things because I didn't know I had them, but detox can be really hard, and because as you're detoxing, all this crap's coming out of your cells, you know, you can get like all the diarrhea and vomiting and migraine. I mean, just the symptoms can be really, really awful. So right now we're preparing, so the next month is preparatory. We're kind of building up all my organs and my immune system and my adrenals and all of that, so that when we start the actual detox, my body's in the best position to like deal with the onslaught of blah that is going to be coming. And if you know anything about detox before, so anyone that's had candida, for example, there's a thing called die-off, where because the candida are living, you know, they're live things, and when you start to kill them, you get something called die-off, and the side effects of die-off can be really horrible. You can feel like absolute crap when the die-off is happening, which makes sense because, you know, they're eliminating all their mess and nonsense and toxins and everything. So die-off is a thing, and it can feel absolutely horrible. So we're preparing my body to deal with the detox process and the die-off. So nothing major is going to happen in the next month. Then in a month I will go back to go see. So I'm going, just to give you set expectations, I do my follow-up appointment with a homotoxicologist on September 4th, because I'm going to Florida. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to Florida to stay with Danny and Maura, Desmond and Dean Vega for a couple of weeks, and that's going to be fantastic. But obviously I can't follow up while I'm in Florida. So I'm going, my follow-up is on September 4th. I will check in with you at that point, but at that point, as long as she feels like my body's ready for the onslaught, then that's the point when we'll start doing the detox of all the things. And I'm not sure what order she's going to go in or how that works, but I'm ready, because I'm ready to not have any of these bugs living inside of me. I'm ready to kill all the bacteria and the parasites. I'm ready to get the mercury out. I'm ready to get the arsenic out. I'm ready to get the antibiotic residues out. I'm ready for the chicken pox to be gone. I'm ready for all of that to be gone. I'm ready to make the E. coli homeless and the mold. I'm ready to like clean house. So Sherry Gibbs is saying that she had a huge candida die-off, and it's awful. It is awful. So anyway, we're preparing me for that. So for the next month, I should just be dealing with, you know, the effects of having Lyme. So being super tired and so on and so forth. But it's funny how I don't feel so tired because I know what it is that's making me tired. You know, when you know what's going on, you can actually, like, it makes it easier for you to just like bat along with it because you know what it is that's causing it. You know what it's you know that it's not you. You know that it's not you just being a slacker. There's a reason why you're exhausted and fatigued and why you can't get up and do what you should be doing. So I'm super excited. Nothing much should happen for the next month. I'll check in with you after my follow-up appointment, and I'll let you know as we go along what we're attacking and what we're doing. Oh, The one thing that I do have to do, my one action is I still have one amalgam in my mouth. And my action is that she can't treat me for the mercury. We can't pull the mercury out until all the mercury in my mouth was gone. So I made an appointment. I don't have a dentist here because I've only been here 5 seconds, and since I've been keto, I haven't had to have any dental work in 4.5 years because no sugar, no things that turn into sugar once you've eaten them. So, and of course xylitol and erythritol actively build up teeth and then they do not rot them. So xylitol and erythritol are fabulous for tooth health, and I haven't had to see a doctor in 4.5 years. So I now have myself a dentist here for the express purpose of having this last amalgam removed and replaced with a white filling, because the homotoxicologist can't do her magic until there's no physical mercury left. Hopefully that'll be done in August, so when I go back in September we can start killing off all the things, and I'm super happy about that. So any of you, I know that even if some of you are not saying it out loud, I know there's a bunch of you who are sitting there going, oh my god, I have mercury fillings, or oh my god, I have, or oh, that feels like me, or keto doesn't work for me, I know there's something wrong but I have no idea what it was, and I go to my doctor and they tell me I'm fine, they look at my bloods and they say everything's fine, but I know there's something. The reason I'm telling you this is because this might be something that you want to look at. It might not, it might. So I'm sharing because I'm pretty sure that there's a bunch of you, particularly the third of you that have MTHFR. This may be a piece of your puzzle. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm in Connecticut, middle bottom of Connecticut, and so is this homotoxicologist. I will post all the details once I've done this live. This will stay and you can watch it anytime. I'll post her details there for anyone who's in Connecticut. If any of this resonates with you, if you know there's something going on and you don't know what it is, then I highly recommend you get hold of, her name is Sheila Ring-Reed. I highly recommend you get a hold of her and make an appointment to see her. However, you can also do it remotely. I had the testing done in person. You can also do it remotely with Sheila by hair analysis. So if you're not in Connecticut or Rhode Island or Massachusetts or New York and can't get here, contact her anyway, because she can help you via hair analysis. So there's that. I was super impressed with her. She said to me, and this just made me love her, she said that I deliberately keep the pricing, the testing cost, and there's no charge for the second visit, for the follow-up visit, there's no charge. She said, because I know that by the time people get to me, they have spent a huge amount of time and money investigating Western medicine and doing all those tests and coming up with nothing and not feeling any better. So by the time people come to me, they're tapped out for money and they're also desperate to find answers. So she keeps her costs as low as possible, which gave me a bunch of confidence in her as well. I also know that Josh, my tree dude, he's on to the next stage of his treatment with Sheila, and he is feeling so much better. And Josh had way more things than I did to deal with, which I won't go into obviously because that's Josh's story. And also Josh's wife is also undergoing treatment and is also feeling way better, but they're the next stage down from the process than I am. So it's all good. I'm super excited. I'm hoping that by October I am just going to be feeling like the last of my things are going to be at least gone or on the way to being gone. And I know I've sat here and I've not said hi to anyone, and I've not answered any questions, and because I just needed to get all of that out. So now, obviously, if you want to ask me any questions, I can try and answer, but this is all new for me. So, hi Holly, I'm actually going to try and interact now. I didn't earlier because I didn't want to lose my train of thought and miss bits out. So I will post Sheila's information again. Highly recommend, if you're within striking distance of the middle bottom of Connecticut, you get here to see her. If you're not within striking distance, then contact her and get a hair analysis done if this is resonating with you at all. And you've tried everything else, you're like me, you've tried everything else, Western medicine hasn't helped you, you still have eczema, you still have, you know, all the things, and nothing's worked, and you're not getting the remarkable benefits of keto that a lot of people seem to get. If that's you, this may be something that you want to try. Hi Sarah, I love you too. I do have a plan. And we're going to fix it. I'm also super excited because, hi Deborah, I'm also super excited because this is like N=1. Now, you know, that's a thing in the keto world, N=1, where they're doing experiments, they're doing carnivore keto, or they're doing things around that. This is a whole different N=1 that most people have never seen. So I'm actually, this might sound really weird, but I'm super excited because if this N+1 works for me, then it may help, it may lead a whole bunch of you on to finding your thing that is stopping you from getting fully healthy, so that I get to experience it and try these treatments out and try these things and do some of the leg work. Makes me super happy, because I'm hoping that this is also going to help a bunch of you lovely people that are also stuck. Hi Robin, thank you for the hug. So I know that was a lot, and I spent most of yesterday going, wait, what? That was a lot, like, wow. So if you do have any questions, I'll try to answer what I can. Otherwise, I'll leave this up. You can ask me questions in the comments afterwards. I will try very hard and get back to them all. I do try and do that and get back to answer everybody. But there it is. That's me. I got Lyme disease and everything, and it's all good. So, questions. I'll wait a few minutes because I know there's a lag. Questions or comments? Actually, let me see if I can scroll a bit. I'm not sure if I can, and see some of the questions, because Facebook is dumb and I can't see, I can only see the last 4 comments. So actually, let me, in this light, I have a light because in front of me, because people said they couldn't see my face, and now it's super dark. So Deb wants one of those pork chops I had. So yesterday, while I'm waiting for some questions, Heather, I make you so happy. That makes me so happy. We're on this, like, this happy roundabout, merry-go-round. Sherry, thank you. She said, thank you for sharing. You're welcome. So Deb, pork chops. So yesterday, I've been going to the chiropractor. That was another part of my trying to work out. Oh, wait, Mr. McHenry doesn't have a Facebook group, but he does have his own Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, Mr. McHenry has one, and it's called, funnily enough, Mr. McHenry, and it's spelled out MISTERMCHENRY, Mr. McHenry on Instagram. And Mr. McHenry writes it. I help him with the photos, but he writes all of the posts on Instagram. So you can go check out Mr. McHenry, and somebody's talking about that because thank you, Marie, for saying I look fabulous in spite of everything. I feel like crap, but but there it is. Hopefully in a few months I'll look fabulous and feel fabulous. Wouldn't that be nice? So Mr. McHenry got his first email requesting a collaboration today, so I posted that on Facebook because I think it's hysterical. So yeah, that's why Mr. McHenry is in the news today. So back to my pork chop. So yesterday I went to the chiropractor. I've been having migraines again, and I was investigating all the things to try and find out what was going on. And so I went to the chiropractor because I thought it might be, you know, a physical migraine thing, not something from inside. And I went to the chiropractor yesterday, and when I left, there's a butcher shop. This is in East Hampton, so this is not where I live, but it's a little village in the middle of Connecticut. And I was driving past, and there's this butcher shop called the Lucky Goat, and I was all, hey, like, how can I not go to a store called the Lucky Goat, given that my most famous ice cream flavor is Sassy Goat. So I went to East Hampton, and I went to visit the Lucky Goat butcher shop, and it was fabulous. All the good meat and all the weird stuff and all the seafood and all the things. I was so excited. I could have spent a fortune, but I didn't. But I did buy, because they had smoked pork chops, just piles of pork chops which had been smoked. And I love things that are smoked, and I don't yet have my smoker and all the things for my deck. So I bought some smoked pork chops, and I ate a half of one of them today, and I posted pictures, and best piece of pork I've ever eaten in my life. So that's why Deb commented that she wanted a piece of the pork chop, because the smoked pork chops from the Lucky Goat butcher in East Hampton, Connecticut are absolutely fantastic. So I'm super excited. Of course, they weren't cheap. They were, well, 2 meals for me. I want to say I bought a chop. It was enormous. It's enough. It was over £1. So that will be 2 days for me. And I want to say it was six something, 650, 640, somewhere around there. So it's more expensive than just buying pork chops for $2.99 a pound, but it was delicious, and of course it needed no cooking, so I took it out of the fridge and put it on a plate and ate it, and so dinner took me 5 seconds. So that was the smoked pork chop. Now, we got derailed by Mr. McHenry and the pork chop. Anybody have any questions about my news? How can they tell you all those things from your hair? I don't know, Christine. And I was tested not by my hair, because I was there in person. However, if you contact Sheila, I'm sure she would be thrilled to let you know how that works. Oh, so Maura. Oh, Maura Cantwell. Hello. Maura Cantwell is my new friend. Maura actually lives relatively near, well, actually not, but lives in Connecticut, and we met for coffee in East Hampton, actually, because it was kind of middle, and we met in East Hampton the other week. I posted pictures in the kitchen Facebook group because Maura won one of my kitchen competitions, and she won a copy of the Keto Super Bowl. And so, because we're in the same state, I said, hey, let's meet for coffee, and I'll give you it in person. So we met for coffee in East Hampton, actually. We were just around the corner from the Lucky Goat butcher shop. And neither of us knew that the best pork chops in the world were just, 100 yards away from us. But so now Maura's going to have to go back to East Hampton to get pork chops. Yes, she's saying that in the podcast that Brian Williamson and I recorded for the kitchen with Dr. Ken Barry, Berry, who our favourite keto doctor, I said in that podcast that I hadn't found a butcher, and then of course now I have. So if you haven't listened to the podcast that we did with Dr. Ken Berry, it was his top 5 favourite keto foods. So if you are curious as to what Dr. Ken Berry eats, what his favourite keto foods are, then hop on up to YouTube, to my channel, which is The Real Carrie Brown, and you can listen in to Dr. Ken Berry talking to Brian and I about his favourite foods. And of course it's funny because we're all funny people. Ha! So put all three of us funny people together on one podcast and it's like triple funny. Anyway, so that's that. Any more questions about my news? I'll give you a couple of more minutes. Oh, the other news is we have a bear. Yes, Heather, Dr. Berry is awesome. I had them, Dr. Ken and Tanisha Berry came and stayed with me for several days over Keto Fest last weekend. I picked them up from the airport and took them back. I was very sad to take them back on Monday. It was fantastic having them here. We had an absolute blast. We laughed a lot. We ate a lot of bacon, which I cooked. We had beef bacon, and I made 5 different types of keto ice cream, and they now think I'm the keto ice cream queen, and we had a very good time, and I miss them. Yeah, and Daisy the cat loved Nisha, and Daisy the cat doesn't love many people, but she loved Nisha, so we're all missing the berries this week. And yes, oh, just reminded me, Claudia, I did have coffee at the Eco Coffee House. It is absolutely one of my favourite coffee shops now. I go there every time I go to the chiropractor. I go in and see Susan at the Eco Coffee House and have one of her fantastic coffees by there's a local roaster here called Shearwater Coffee, and there's the coffee she uses. So yes. Oh, and Heather's just reminded me that yes, the Berries and I and Nick Mailer and Dr. Peter Bellestead, we did an ice cream live from my kitchen last week, and that's still on my Facebook. Yes, that, and I'll upload it to YouTube, but right now if you scroll down it's on my wall somewhere. So if you missed the ice cream live, that was super fun too. So Debbie, yes, Sarah asked what's the name of your doctor. So she's not a doctor, she's a homotoxicologist, and she does bioenergetic medicine and homotoxicology. Her name is Sheila Ring Reed, and I will put the information in the header of this post/live when we're done, so that anybody who wants to contact her can do that. Oh, yes, I was just telling you we have a bear. My neighbour sent me pictures of said bear not very far away from here. So that's exciting and a little bit nerve-wracking maybe. Not sure really how I should feel about, not really sure how I should feel about a bear. Not really. Of course, I keep all my, there's I don't know if you, oh, you can't see him. No, Mr. McHenry's on the actually maybe let me turn you around and you can see. There's Mr. McHenry is looking out the window, and there's Daisy, and there's Zebedee. So there's my tribe, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do something about the fact that we have a bear close by. I keep all my trash in the garage, so I don't think he'll be coming round, but yeah, Deb, my garbage is in the garage, And I don't, well, because I don't have garbage service at my house because I live in a forest in the middle of nowhere. So I have to take my garbage to the transfer station, and I store it, but I have it in a sealed container in my garage, and I store it up and then I take it, but it's always in the garage, so I'm hoping that's going to help me. And other than my herbs, I've got nothing else to feed them with. Adam, the builder, told me not to put bird feeders or turkey feeders out until after the bears have gone to bed. So I will be following his advice, especially now I know we do actually have a bear. So yeah, that's news too. We have a bear. That's it. Heather's making me laugh. I think I would freak out. Of course I freak out when there are raccoons and possums in our yard. Yeah, so a bear. Anyway, there it is. If there are no more questions, Claudia is saying, Susan is a friend and my daughter sells her handmade soap there. Yay, Claudia! Which means, well, if you're close, then we have to go to Echo Coffee and have coffee together with Susan. So if that's a thing, Claudia, message me and let me know, because I'd love to meet you. All right, I think maybe there's no more questions about my news. Other than to say, why did I feel the need to share all this with you? Well, one, because I got nothing to hide, and I live my life to try and help other people. If you don't all know what I'm going through, then I can't help you. But I also don't ever want to be in the situation where some less than nice people decide to out me for something I hadn't told you. So I don't know why they would, but you know, people are weird. So I just decided that I was going to tell you all the things, and so you know what's going on. If you read something that doesn't agree with what I've just told you, then you'll know what the truth is. And also I feel like I can help you a lot better if I share what I'm going through. So that's why I did this. I hope it was helpful. If it resonates with you, then I really hope that this could could make it easier for you to be your own detective and to figure out what is the thing that is stopping you from realizing your full potential. So thank you, Heather. Now, if you're not all on date night, hopefully you still have time to go on date night or play with your kids or relax and watch some TV or whatever it is you do on a Friday night. That's it. That's all I got. Now me and the kids are going to, I don't know what we're going to do now, but we're going to go do something because, of course, at the wrong time of day, I'm now wide awake because my adrenals are just so messed up from the strain that we don't even know what time it is. So I'm going to do stuff. Hi, Bindi Bateman-Lewis, who I met in Chattanooga. We had a marvelous time teaching the baristas in Chattanooga how to make keto coffee. Margin, thank you. Robin, thank you. And I will see you all on Monday when I do the weekly hangout, and I'm probably not going to talk about this again until September 4th when we do the follow-up, but if you'll want to talk about it again or have questions, just let me know. And thank you for all your support. Thank you for subscribing to and watching the videos I'm putting out on my YouTube channel, The Real Carrie Brown. The more you share those videos, the more people we can help. Together we can help a lot of people to enjoy the benefits of keto and also the things that I share with the MTHFR, the bipolar, and now all this other fun new stuff. So please share from YouTube, and let's help people feel better than they've ever felt. I love you all, and I will See you soon.